Morning, everybody. Ronan here. Just just got off a plane and in a taxi into Melbourne. It's about 5 to 8 Friday morning. I wanted to do just a quick piece on branding, but not just in the context of a company or a business. Reason being, it's actually something that is affecting everybody more and more these days, especially where you have people online all the time. I mean, I've recently sort of committed to doing more videos online for people to try and help as many people as I can. But I was trying to, it's such a, people make it such a complex area, the whole area of branding. What does it mean? How do you know it's working, etc. And so for me, I've distilled it into two questions, that if you can answer these two questions and answer them accurately, you're going to be aware, very much aware of, you're going to have a better general awareness, but you're also going to be self-aware to a level that most people aren't. And so these two questions, they require, which if answered, will have you looking internally but also externally. So a lot of people, when they think about, you know, the brand they're offering, their value, they navel gaze a little bit. They think about, oh, I'm this, I'm that, I'm so great, I'm so wonderful. And then others do too much looking externally. So they look at everybody else, they look at their competition, they look at what's happening in the world. They spend hours and hours reading about, you know, the state of politics or whatever, and they let that influence their emotions. So doing too much of one or the other, it can be problematic, but getting a good balance between both has produced great results for people I've worked with, and these are also questions I ask myself, by the way. So the two questions, which if answered correctly, will change your business, will change everything in terms of your service, your level of service. They'll also change, they can change relationships, and I mean like intimate relationships as well. So the two things are this. So the two questions, sorry, are this. The first one is, I'm going to put it in a business context first. What is your promise to your customers or to your clients? So that's often where a lot of people stop. They think whatever they promise is actually what's happening. So you got to look at what's your promise. So that also shows what you stand for. So, you know, if you're promising the cheapest prices in the world, then you better deliver them. If you're promising the best service in the world, then you better deliver that, but you better know how people measure it. If you're promising the best insights in the world, you better deliver that. So what's your promise to your marketplace? That's the first thing, and I really recommend writing that down. And if you know what your promise is, and just make it one promise. What's my promise and why, I guess? Because the why will tell you why it's important to you to make that promise. And that's what's going to give you your juice, it's going to give you your fuel. So knowing what your promise is and knowing why you're making that promise is the beginning of your desired brand. That's going to tell you what, you know, who you want to be, what you want to be, how you want to be perceived. And I guess just an opinion on that is not to make it ego. Don't make it ego centered. Make it really about what you're passionate about, you know, what you're interested in, what excites you, what you're inexplicably drawn towards. Make it all about that, and make a promise in that area. So that's the first question. What's my promise to my clients? What's my promise to my customers? The second question, and many people in the world, I guess, of marketing will tell you this is the more important one. The second question is, sorry, I'm just a bit distracted here in traffic. The second question is, what does my client say about me when I'm not there? Right? So what does my customer say about me when I'm not there? So first question is, you're making a promise, you articulate that. Second one is you're saying, what do they say about me when I'm not there? That's your brand, okay? That's your real brand. So what do they say about you? You know, for example, well, how do you know what they say about you? Okay, that's the first question. One way of knowing, I guess, is, you know, I suppose, do you get referrals? If you do get referrals, they're probably saying something good about you. Do you get thank yous? Do you get good feedback? That kind of stuff. But usually it's in the actions. So what do they say about you is an important thing. Now, a really, really crucial thing to note here is I'm not talking about trolls on the internet. I'm not talking about, you know, what do detractors or negative people say about you. I would recommend that should be of no interest to you whatsoever, because there's plenty of idiots on the internet who can write anything they want at any given time on any device about anything. So I'd actually recommend ignoring that. So I'm talking only about, in the first question, you've made a promise. What's your promise to your clients and your customers? And if you want to take it across different contexts, what's your promise to your husband or wife? What's your promise to your friends? What's your promise to your family? And then what do the same people say about you when you're not there? That's your true brand. So one is your stated, your desired. That's what you want to be known for. Those are the things you stand for. And then what do they say about you when you're not there? That is a measure of how true you are being to your desired brand, right? To your desired, to your values. Now, sometimes if people aren't saying what you would like them to be saying, it can be mixed messaging. It doesn't mean that anyone's a bad person or a business is a bad business or something. It just means that the messaging could be wrong, you know, or maybe the delivery is not great, or, you know, there could be something a little bit off. So this isn't about judgment, making somebody right, wrong, good, bad. It's just feedback. So that if you're planning a career, if you're planning a business, if you're running an existing company, and people I coach range from everybody to one person bands, to people running ASX listed companies, to people running hundreds of millions of dollars worth of companies, and to senior executives in billion-dollar companies. So these two questions, the good news is these two questions genuinely apply to all of those, to all of us. So if you can answer what's your promise to your clients, to your customers, and that can be in any context, can be business, can be family, can be community, can be, you know, team, if you're in a team, in a business or a sport or whatever. And then what do they say about you when you're not there? What do those people say about you when you're not there? Not what does somebody at 2 o'clock in the morning say about you on Twitter, right? Not that. So that's really important with branding yourself, branding your business. And I use branding as a word just because it's a word that's being, I suppose, bandied around a lot in organizations. I've heard people who never used the word brand before suddenly using it all the time. So it's up to you to define what brand is for yourself. Personally, I'm using branding as the word because everybody knows what it means, but this could be, you know, what do you stand for? What's life about for you? And what do the people who matter to you say about you when you're not there? That's your internal focus. What's it about for you? External focus, what's it about for your marketplace? Internal focus, how well are you matching up to that? And if you can close the gap on that, if you can have people say about you, if you say my promise is that I'm the best, or I'm the cheapest, or I'm the smartest, or the most inventive, and people say those things about you, then you're mastering your craft, you're mastering your journey. If they don't, then there's a little bit of a gap to close, and then you could write down ways that you could close that gap. I think I'm nearly at my destination here, so I'm going to sign off. I hope that's helped. It's been still wonderful doing these videos, and I hope to continue doing many more for many weeks, maybe months, maybe years to come. And give feedback if you like it if you like it, and share it if you think somebody will benefit from it. And if you're interested in learning more, doing any work together, check out the website, and one of us will get back to you. And either way though, hope this serves you well, and Until next time, best wishes.